Right now, the city of Madison acting on several snow and salt ordinance complaints as we finally get a break from the bitter cold. Plus, close-up video of a house fire. This was near Partyville tonight. We have an update from the responding fire departments. And later, several lakefront homes turn to ice as we continue to follow the fallout from this weekend's winter storm. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. And thanks for joining us tonight. Over the past week or so, many of us may have been doing quite a bit of salting and shoveling outside of our homes, but trying to keep that snow and ice at bay hasn't been easy. Now that temperatures are on the rise, it's time to make sure everything is clear once again. A stretch of unseasonable warmth has begun, and you may think your shoveling days are over for a while, but the city of Madison says as these temperatures go up, so have the complaints of uncleared sidewalks. Our Armand Rahman explains. Armand?
Eric, just days ago, the city of Madison extended their deadline to remove snow and ice to Sunday due to last week's winter storm. And now that the weather's done a 180, they want to make sure you don't forget to shovel that snow and ice and now slush before it becomes at best a nuisance and at worst a danger to sidewalk users. Mother Nature may have thrown us a bone with these warm temps, but Madison city officials say don't expect her to pick up the shovel.
We're asking residents to please not rely on the weather to do your job for you. If there is any snow, ice, slush on your public sidewalk, please clear it.
The complaints have been piling up of piles of snow and ice left on sidewalks. Since Christmas Day, building inspection has gotten 160 complaints of uncleared sidewalks and 8 complaints of oversalting.
So we are in the process of visiting those sites where people have expressed that the snow, ice has not been cleared. We will continue to inspect those areas tomorrow and into Friday if necessary.
If snow and ice isn't cleared, the first citation is $124. And if excess salt isn't cleared, you could be charged up to $50 at first.
But if we do issue that fine, in addition to that, we will have a contractor clear the snow so it is safe to walk on, and the property owner adjacent to that public sidewalk will foot the bill for that.
And going back to this week of unseasonable temps, the city says it's not just snow and ice that can prove a nuisance or a hazard.
Even slush can be dangerous. We ask that you don't rely on the warmer weather to melt that snow.
And building inspection supervisors told News 3 Now last week the city issues 600 to 700 citations a year. This year, they've already issued at least 100.
Armand, thank you. And just last night, we spoke with the Department of Natural Resources. With these warmer conditions expected to stick around for a bit, they had a warning for anyone looking to go out on the ice. And they said the current ice conditions are not favorable and will only deteriorate further as the week goes on. So let's see how warm it will be. Here is Julian Seawright with our first warn forecast. Julian?
Well, things are going to stay almost as warm as they were for today, but we will start to see some sliding back and forth as we continue throughout the rest of this week heading into the weekend. Now, we have a 17-degree increase from what it was 24 hours ago for us in Madison alone, but many areas in southern Wisconsin were into the upper teens in terms of their increase in temperatures. So this just goes to show you of us really just being well above freezing. Now, as we take a look outside, as of right now, it's a cloudy night and it is a breezy night. Temperatures at 40 degrees. We'll be into the upper 30s, back and forth to the lower 40s as we head into the overnight hours, walking into our Thursday morning. But those breezy conditions will remain. We're looking at 13 miles per hour winds in Madison, 18 in Monroe, with 15 apiece for Platteville and for Janesville. Temperatures on the surface are into the lower 40s, and as we can see, those upper 30s for our friends in Platteville. But wind chills are still keeping things feeling a little chilly throughout much of southern Wisconsin, but we still feel above freezing, which is good news for us here in Madison. Planning out tomorrow, we'll have another mild day. Upper 40s is what's on tap. Cloud cover and opportunities for some showers as well. We'll walk through how you can be impacted heading into your Thursday in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. And to stay on top of all things weather, our Channel 3000 weather app is the place to get it. Local forecasts, interactive radar, and alerts right on your phone. It's all for free. A developing story tonight near Partyville. Crews are on the scene of a house fire on Warnke Road. This is just north of Highway 33. The fire chief calling this home a total loss. Fortunately, no one was home at the time. He says when the first crews arrived on scene, flames were visible. It took them about 30 to 45 minutes to get it under control, and mutual aid was called in from neighboring departments, mostly to bring in more water due to its rural location.
When I arrived on scene, we had fire showing here at the house behind me, heavy fire, and nobody was home at the time. We have no injuries at this point, Fire's still under investigation, and it will be a total loss.
Now, this home is a rental. We spoke with the person renting it off camera. He tells us he was not home at the time, but does have a place to stay for the time being. New drone footage tonight showing a row of houses fully crystallized in ice, turning Ontario's Fort Erie town into a fairy tale ice town this week. An historic blizzard that hit the U.S. and Canada over the Christmas holiday weekend brought strong winds, freezing rain, heavy snowfall, power outages, and a massive cancellation of flights. And here we are, more than halfway through the work week. Thousands of Americans are still stranded at airports all across the country tonight, wondering when they'll get home after a system-wide malfunction at Southwest Airlines. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
Southwest Airlines canceled more than 2,500 flights on Wednesday as it tries to emerge from its nationwide computer meltdown.
I looked on flights, and the earliest one they have is like January 1st.
Travelers able to book on other airlines are shelling out big bucks for a ticket home.
My flight got canceled on Tuesday, and then next thing you know, I'm spending about $1,700 on a flight back to Denver, where I really didn't have the money, but I didn't have any other choice.
Increased demand for one-way rental cars is also driving up prices for those giving up on the plane ride home.
I'm paying $1,800 for 1 day. So that means that the rental cars companies are gouging.
Some Southwest employees say they wish they could do more to help frustrated and weary customers.
When they saw me come into the airport, I was flocked, and it's no exaggeration, with people who had been in the airport for days and looking for answers, and the helpless feeling of being unable to help them.
I'm truly sorry.
Southwest Airlines CEO Robert Jordan has apologized, but admits it could be next week before things return to normal. So for people like Paul Shelby,
so these clothes have been on us for 4 days.
It's a waiting game. The federal government has launched an investigation. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Southwest has canceled more than 2,300 flights for tomorrow, as well as it tries to sort through all this travel chaos that's clogging airports across the country. In Rock County, the medical examiner identifying the woman whose body was recovered from the Rock River last week, 54-year-old Billy Lynn from Chicago, drowned after breaking through the ice on the river last Friday. Happened in the town of Rock near South Edgewater Drive. That incident remains under investigation. And another active investigation underway, this one in Dane County. Officials say a man slid off a snow-covered road in the town of Dunkirk and crashed into the Yahara River. Today, the medical examiner says 45-year-old Jacob Clevin of Stoughton crashed into the river Christmas Eve and died from his injuries at the scene. New incredible video tonight, dash cam footage capturing the moment a drunk driver's vehicle flipped several times. You can see the crash to the left side of your screen here. This video was shared by the Lansing Police Department in Michigan today. They say the crash actually happened back on December 3rd. Police said the driver only suffered minor injuries and was arrested for driving under the influence. The post online reads, quote, "Sometimes a drunk driving arrest will land right in front of you, literally." Also new video tonight, 2 motorists escaping serious injuries. This was near Manchester, Connecticut after colliding with a steel guardrail that impaled their car. Footage posted online shows the guardrail stuck between the passenger seats of the vehicle, debris strewn across I-384. Officials say miraculously the occupants suffered only minor injuries and were transported to a local hospital. Governor Tony Evers today announcing a program designed to combat homelessness and opioid addiction. The Recovery Voucher Program will use $2 million to provide affordable, safe, and stable housing to homeless people who have been diagnosed with opioid use disorder. It'll be funded by part of the money the state received from the National Prescription Opiate Litigation. Well, new details tonight. State taxpayers spent about $76,000 to fund a DNR policy board member's legal fight to remain on the board after his term had expired. That's according to new reporting from the Wisconsin State Journal. Fred Prane was first appointed by Governor Scott Walker. That was back in 2015. But then he refused to step down after Governor Evers was elected. And Attorney General Josh Kaul sued to have him removed. But the Republican-leaning Supreme Court sided with Prane, saying he could stay on. But now, just last week, Prane announced he will resign effective this Friday, saying, quote, "Now is the time for me to move on." Well, last year, the State Department of Justice wrapped up up an 18-month review of sexual assault cases in the Wisconsin National Guard. The review followed a 2019 investigation by the Federal National Guard that found at least 33 sexual assault cases were mishandled. Dozens of botched investigations between 2009 and 2019 were examined. Former Wisconsin Guard Chief Major General Donald Dunbar was fired in 2019 over those findings. The DOJ turned its review over to local district attorneys who ultimately declined to prosecute and determined more needs to be done to prevent future problems. Well, now a legislative committee has recommendations on what to do next. The committee recommending the legislature make a series of changes to how the Guard operates, and that includes an annual report the Guard must provide to lawmakers on the number of incidents and policy changes related to sexual misconduct. The bills would also align the state's military code of justice with the federal uniform code of justice. And Representative Tony Kurtz, who chairs the committee, says this legislation is a good first step.
I think collectively, one thing you got out of the committee is we don't want this to happen again. I don't think any citizen in the state wants it. I know the Guard doesn't want this to happen again.
Now, these bills are still in draft form, but are expected to be introduced when the new session starts in January. They do have bipartisan support as well, including from the governor. New tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today in his annual address to the Ukrainian parliament says the war Russia has waged on his country has strengthened Europe's unity and that, quote, no one in the West is afraid and will ever be afraid of Russia. Zelensky also thanked Ukrainian servicemen, calling them heroes, and said the powerful weapons Ukraine has received have strengthened its advantage. During his address, Zelensky also honored a Ukrainian commander with a presidential command coin, which he received from President Biden when he was in Washington, D.C. last week. Well, members of the House of Representatives and their staff will no longer be able to use TikTok on electronic devices managed by the House. Lawmakers and staff members who have the app on a House mobile device must now uninstall it. An internal notice announcing the change identified TikTok as, quote, a high risk to users due to a number of security risks. Separately, the government is expected to soon ban TikTok from all federal devices. And still ahead tonight, a local sports team doing something good for area hospital patients. Plus, ever wonder what happens to those holiday gifts once they're returned? We'll show you where they go next.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Waiting sometimes is just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, waiting could be deadly because conditions like heart disease or diabetes raise your risk of serious illness or death from untreated COVID. And if you don't get treatment within days, you may not be able to get treatment. So, got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-803-2714 or go to sonobello.com.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Bruck's Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brucksnightguard.com and order yours today.
Please welcome my friend Blake Sherman.
We wanted you to come back to The Voice, not start your own freaking talk show.
Plus, please welcome James Corden.
And what do I consider myself? Lucky.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Next to 9 members of the Janesville Jets hockey team today doing something good, delivering teddy bears to the Mercy Health Hospital and Trauma Center. The teddy bears were collected at the Jets Teddy Bear Collection Night earlier in the month when generous fans brought them to the game and threw them onto the ice.
I've been playing hockey doing this for a couple of years, and every year it's pretty exciting to see how the fans come together. Obviously, more people come to the rink that day because they know it's for a good cause, and it's cool seeing the community come together for that.
Today, the teddy bears were handed out to pediatric patients as well as adult dementia patients to provide comfort during hospital visits. Presents are making their way from under the tree to the return pile in a post-holiday rush to give back what doesn't fit or isn't wanted. But what happens to all those returns? Usher Qureshi takes us inside an online auction company giving these items a new shelf life.
It's not the island of misfit toys, but an entire warehouse in Shorewood, Illinois, devoted to returns.
Torch, jack for a trailer, vacuum for the wall.
It's all part of Slybuy.com, an online auction company that also operates a deeply discounted dig store and fixed-price warehouse sale.
Probably the strangest thing I've ever seen is a full-size hot tub. Came off the back of a truck.
Steve Fitzgerald is CEO and says companies like his take what retail stores don't want to restock.
A lot of cases, things get returned and there might be box damage or missing screws or missing directions, and retailers really want to protect their customer experience and they want that to be perfect.
Every day they get a 40-foot trailer like this filled with 1,600 boxes, in this case, of items they don't even know what's in them. Once processed, items in imperfect to pristine condition are up for bid.
It's anywhere from 50 to 90% off of regular retail. Everything starts at $1. There's no reserve price, and the market determines what it's worth.
Josh Comer has snapped up hundreds of deals. What do you do with all this stuff?
I resell it.
Oh, okay, so this is like a side hustle for you.
Yeah, some stuff I keep.
This reverse logistics ecosystem, as it's called, is mindful of both planet and pocketbook.
It's affordable. And these times, that's what people need.
Giving unwanted gifts a second chance. Usher Qureshi, CBS News, Shorewood, Illinois.
More online shopping has increased return volumes. According to the National Retail Federation, $102 billion worth of online orders were returned in 2020. Well, that number more than doubled to $218 billion last year. More local news now. Applications for the City of Madison's 2023 Neighborhood Grant Program are now open through February 20th. Neighborhood associations and other groups can apply for a grant to improve their neighborhood or organizations. The goal of the grants is to help fund projects that enhance the community or help groups that support neighborhoods. The city typically gives out about $25,000 worth of grants, with each recipient being awarded $1,000 to $5,000. Work on a massive solar farm in Rock County is now complete. Alliant Energy says the 50-megawatt North Rock solar project, located in the town of Fulton, features almost 120,000 solar panels over 473 acres of land. The farm is expected to generate power for about 13,000 homes. Construction on the site began in 2021. Starting to see some melting out there with those warmer temperatures today. Here's Julian Seawright. He has our first warn forecast. Julian?
That's right, and we'll see even more as we get into tomorrow's. Temperatures are going to be rising even more. Let's go ahead and take a look at how temperatures are not just going to rise for tomorrow, but are going to be on a steady trend of being well above average for this time of year. And that's not just for Wisconsin, but for much of the upper Midwest and the eastern side of the United States over the next week. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the car wash forecast. Since now we are looking at the melting and temperatures to be just warm enough to where they're not freezing, it's going to be a good time to go ahead and get that salt and all the dirt off that beauty of a vehicle of yours, and also add the wax as well. Our 3 things we're going to need to know: we're looking at 40s for the rest of the week, breezy conditions for the next few days, and we do have some shower chances just ahead of the new year starting for tomorrow as well. We had warm air lift its way into the upper Midwest, which has brought us temperatures into the 40s for many areas and into the upper 30s as we got into the rest of tonight. But taking a look at the radar, going right back for a moment, we are looking at just north of Madison, a couple of showers starting to develop, but it's mainly north of Dane County where we're starting to see that small little cluster of some showers. But overall, things are staying rather dry, and they're going to be that way throughout the rest of tonight. We're looking at cloud cover, temperatures to be near 40, and heading into tomorrow, we are going to be in the 40s, but on the upper side of them. 47 degrees for Madison is our high with Platteville, and around 51 for Janesville, and 50 heading into Monroe. Walking through the rest of tonight, we do have some showers mainly north of Dane County, but as we get into Thursday morning, we will start to see that plenty of breezy conditions, temperatures in lower 40s, and that's going to warm up even more by the time we get into the lunchtime hour. We do have some opportunities of those showers starting to spread out just a bit once we get into the early afternoon and heading into our evening hours. Around the 5 p.m. commute just north of I-39, we could start to see a couple of showers, but they're going to be very hyper-localized and very isolated. We're not looking for a widespread event once we get into our Thursday evening, but a bit more of those clusters will start to develop as we head into our Thursday night. Transitioning into Friday, temperatures will be warmest early, but then once we get into the rest of the day, it's going to be rather cold and close to the freezing point once again, which is why we are looking for our high temperature on Friday to be into the upper 30s, but the thing is, it's going to happen rather early in the morning. Once we get into the afternoon hours, those temperatures will slide back close to the freezing points, but we'll start to see some more lifting and some more warmth heading into our Saturday and Sunday, which is why we're going to see temperatures near 40 degrees and into those upper 30s as we head into Sunday. So we're ringing in the new year. We do have a possibility of seeing a shower late into our Saturday nights, transitioning into Sunday, but Sunday in itself is going to be rather dry. And with that rain, we could see a mix, but overall, not going to be too much to really dampen your plans for the new year. Heading into the following week, we're going to see those temperatures still maintain the 40s, have a couple of opportunities to see some showers and scattered rain on Monday. Tuesday morning, we could see some of those rain showers from Monday nights carry on, but temperatures themselves will stay above seasonable in the middle 30s.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin skates past Lake Superior State with ease. Why Game 1 of the holiday face-off was a lot less stressful than last year's. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
To help you take walks again. To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you.
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 They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, choose Flex Buy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer. And shine bright.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. One call, that's all.
New year, new you? Join Anytime Fitness and get 30 days free. Get more out of your membership than just machines. Because here, you can lift your weights and lift your mood. Now through January 31st, get 30 days free at Anytime Fitness. Hurry in now.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We do the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Tuesday, J.J. Watt announced that he's calling it a career after this season. The former Badger reflected a bit on his journey today, from walking on at Wisconsin to his NFL resume that's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame.
I've been playing this game since I was 10 years old, and it's been an unbelievable ride. And if you told me back then when I started that I'd be able to play 12 years in the National Football League and meet the people I've met and accomplish some of the things I've accomplished and live the life that I live, I'd have been extremely thankful and probably would have told you were crazy. But here I am now, and I'm extremely thankful.
It started later than expected and ended probably after most of us went to bed, but Wisconsin closed out their season on a high note with a 7-point win over Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Chase Wolf got the start and led the Badgers to 4 scoring drives, while Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi combined for 193 yards and 2 scores, and the defense did their job too, forcing 2 turnovers. The best part, this group set Jim Leonard out a winner and started the Luke Fickell era 1-0.
Not really an emotional person, but, you know, just thinking back on everything that we went through, you know, start dating back to the spring with GB and, you know, kind of just up and downs throughout the season. And, like I said, we ended it exactly the way we wanted to. Just happened to get the win.
And the game's winning quarterback has decided to stay for another year in Madison. 5th-year senior Chase Wolf announced that he'll be taking advantage of the COVID year and is going to return to Wisconsin for a 6th season with the program. Last year's holiday faceoff featured late-game heroics from the Badgers to take home the tournament's first-ever title. This year, Tony Granato probably hoping for a little less drama, and the Badgers delivered. No score in the second, and that's when the Badgers got hot, thanks to a guy who knows a thing or two about scoring in that building. Brock Caulfield rips one high post and in to put Wisconsin up 1-0. Then, 4 minutes later, Badgers back on the attack. This time, Carson Bantle deflects it in to make it 2-0 Bucky. Wisconsin goes on to win. 4-0's your final. They'll face Clarkson tomorrow in the finals. Bucks in Chicago taking on the Bulls. Giannis had 45 points and 22 rebounds, but DeMar DeRozan got the last laugh in overtime. He sinks the mid-range J to give the Bulls the lead for good. Bucks fall 119 to 113. We're back after this.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. Earn fuel points on every purchase and save up to $1 a gallon at the pump. With Pick and Save fuel points, all you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This year, say yes.
I couldn't be more thrilled with my results. I'm over the moon happy. Look at that waist.
Yes to confidence.
I'm so happy I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
Yes to a new shape.
These are my results. I am so happy.
Yes to a new you.
I'm Dr. Elena Vega. Imagine you could remove this much fat from multiple areas all at one time.
Sono Bellows board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I have the flattest tummy that I've had in 25 years.
I'm able to wear things that I never thought I would wear again.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
Find out how you can get $250 off with our New Year exclusive offer. Call 1-800-993-0752 or go to sonobello.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, choose Flex Buy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer. And shine bright.
Why get the updated COVID-19 vaccine? Because life's a little better when we're all boosted. It's the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19's most serious effects, especially if you're over 50 or have a weaker immune system. Give your health a boost. Find the updated COVID-19 vaccine near you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/vaccine.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you get in our stores. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
The Packers battle the Vikings Sunday at 3:25.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Julian's back. One final check of the forecast.
Well, things are going to stay rather mild here in not only Madison, but much of southern Wisconsin. We're going to see temperatures rise into the upper 40s for tomorrow. We will see some patchy fog in the morning and into our afternoon as well. So be mindful when traveling. But temperatures themselves are going to stay above average once we welcome in the new year. But watch for a couple of opportunities to see some showers, not only for tomorrow, but once we bring in the new year as well.
You get some much needed time off now, right?
I do. I get
Safe travels. You have been a warrior at helping us out in these recent days, Julian. Thank you. Safe travels. Thanks for joining us at 10, folks.